great, man. I've actually put you in touch with one of my web developers as well, because I was going to steer her down that route. Oh, I think we're going to go live. We'll talk about
hello,
that.
hello.
Hey! We are live. I love myself. I hate selling. Facebook business page. Hello, people. Hello, anybody who's watching. I am joined today by the force of nature. That is Jennifer Major. Jennifer Major, thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We only met at the back end of last year. I tried to get an appointment with you. And you're like, I don't think so. It's Christmas. I'll speak to you in the new year. And then I think you had a little gap appear in your diary, and you like kind of tossed me a crumb off your table and said, "Oh, I might be able to fit you in." I was like, "No, it's Christmas for me now, so no, next year." But we've had some fantastic times ever since.
Absolutely.
I've been to yours and Simone's fantastic networking event, Connect Like
Which
a
you're
Boss.
speaking at next week.
I'm speaking at next week. Anyone who's watching, Connect Like a Boss is one of the best networking events going. I only actually religiously go to two at this moment in time. One of them is Connect Like a Boss, and the other one is All for One. So if you are looking to connect with a like-minded, sorry, Fallon, if you're watching, and Power Business Network, but hers is only on every 2 months, so you know what I mean. I don't really care.
Yep.
So yeah,
But hers is coming up next week.
Yes, it is. I've seen the requests, of which I've had many. Oh, so Jennifer, before we start, we've got to do the pose, man. We've got to do the pose. Now, I know you've got the pose, so I'll count us in. One, in fact, no, we'll do it in French. Un, deux, trois. Oh my God, that's such a pose. That's so cool.
I've been practicing. Because I watch all of yours. And so I've been practicing. I was like, what is my pose going to be?
Gosh, right? It's like she's on TV. Let me know, that was really good. I tell you what, I can't wait to go back and edit this video and see that pose. That's brilliant.
You and me both.
Jennifer Major has set the standard for poses. So anyone who wants to have another interview with me, you know what you have to aspire to going forward. So we've got a few people. We've got 5 people watching at the moment. I'll tell you what, Jennifer, it's 5:30 over here in the UK. What time is it where you are?
It is 11:30 a.m. because I'm in Houston, Texas.
Wow. Okay, so you're 6 hours behind us. So
I am.
You know, there's a lot of people now in the UK who are ready to kind of put their feet up, and you're like ready to kind of get into overdrive and get the rest of the day done. So excellent. And I believe that you have some kind of wild beast sharing that room with you at the moment. I think the phrase you used was terrorist cat.
Yes, my terrorist cat, although she has escaped magically.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So why is she a terrorist?
She'll be back, theoretically. Well, she doesn't like to be trapped. And so when she feels trapped in here, then she starts jumping on things. She starts, like, literally, she'll start chewing on things. She'll throw things off. It's really great fun, except when it's not, right? I mean, there was one time I was doing a speaking thing, and literally she's like climbing all up this, and that's not helpful.
You need to record that. That will be a fantastic YouTube video.
It really would.
Fantastic. I remember we had a kitten once, and he ended up climbing up our curtains in the front room, and we were like, "What the hell?" It was on the wardrobe, and it used to make this strange noise at the same time. You go like, almost like it was chasing something that no one else could see. Strange. Anyway, this isn't the talk about cats. Sorry for anybody who's watching. Listen, before we dive in, we've already had some comments. Let's see what people are saying about you. Hey, Natalie Hurdley, thank you.
Simone does need a wind tunnel with a hair flip for her.
It's all because of you that I'm speaking to this wonderful lady now. Hey, Simone.
Yes, thank you, Natalie.
So many of my favorite. Oh, thank you, Simone. So many of her favorite people are gathered here. Oh, thank you. I can't say anything about that. Yes, Connect Like a Boss. Yeah, we're going to get you all Connect Like a Boss advertised again. Don't worry about that. We've got plenty to say about that. Oh, hot damn. I need a wind tunnel and then do like a hair flip. Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, she needs like a Beyonce sort of fan kind of thing with all her hair.
Well, Natalie wants to talk about cats.
No.
Natalie, we'll talk about cats maybe at the end if Jennifer's got time. Jennifer's busy. She's got her day to get on with. Right. Let's get this party started. Boom.
Ooh.
Jennifer Major,
Yes, sir.
you are a lady of many skills, many talents. And I suppose, the number one question for a lot of people watching is, what do you do for a business?
What I do is I work with women business owners predominantly, not exclusively, because, I'll work with you. And I help you get your life, your time, your space, your energy better organized so that you can do more of what you want, less of what you don't, and make more money doing it, right? I mean, Natalie gets to now not work most evenings, and she can nap during the day if she wants to, and she can make more money.
Fantastic.
Right? Who doesn't want that?
So you're like some kind of time magician who...
Yes, that's my, that's going to be my new title. I'm a time magician. Yeah.
I love it. So, I mean, what tends to be the cause of people who need that kind of help? Where does it all start? Where's the...
I think a lot of it starts because we put things onto our calendar or diary that we let other people dictate what happens in our lives, rather than saying, no, this is what I want my day to look like. This is what I want my morning to look like.
Yeah.
And then you having the control over that. Right.
Yeah.
And, like a lot of people will use these scheduling apps. Well, they're only great if you actually create blocks of time that work for you. If you just let other people have free for all for what happens in your day, then you're going to end up feeling really unproductive and not happy. So
wise words. So if you're hearing that, guys, if right now you are feeling like you are not in control of your day, you need to speak to this lady. The first thing that she'll do is she'll phone everybody who's annoying you and tell them to beep off. No, I'm joking. No. She doesn't do that. She gets you to do it instead.
That's true. Except for Simone.
So what inspired you then to start this business? What inspired you to be a time, people's time magician, to use your powers to help others to get organized? Sure.
So my background was in human resources. And so in that corporate landscape, I saw a lot of it, particularly with women, because I think you guys are better at, sort of kind of categorizing things, right? Like you can compartmentalize, right? Okay, now is when I'm doing my work thing. And then now is when I'm doing my home thing and that kind of thing. Whereas I think we tend to have things more intermingled. Now, I've seen a lot more guys struggle with this, particularly in the pandemic when they're working from home, the kids are at home doing school, right? Everything's more integrated, right? And even in my in-person organizing business, like they were just really struggling with being able to get their space to where it would support what they wanted, to be able to get their time to support what they wanted. And so many women just didn't know how to kind of dig their way out, right? Like it's when you go into your garage, right? And it's just full of stuff or you're the closet, you're like, no, I don't, right? But you can't do that with your calendar.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, nope, I'm not doing anything today. I suppose, not how that works.
I suppose in layman's terms, I suppose it's like, to break it down into English is when a man goes shopping, he goes shopping for what he wants. Whereas compartmentalize, I can't say the word, but when a woman goes shopping, she shops, she looks, right. She admires, she smells, she tries on, she throws off. So whereas a man is like, meh, 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 and women are like, oh, well, that looks nice and that smells lovely and amazing. So I imagine if you kind of turn that into like organizing your business, I suppose women will maybe take on more things thinking, yeah, I'll get that done, but it won't happen because they'll maybe fall in love with the concept. Whereas the man will say, no, I need that. That's what I'm having. That's what I'm going to do. Finish that, move on to the next thing. Although, obviously, that's not a male-female thing, people watching. Right. Because I know many men who are more disorganized than anyone I've ever met. So, yeah. So
well, and I think a lot of it is that, that there's kind of the traditional, I usually say patriarchal BS, but you can call it whatever you want, right? Where we're living in the 1950s, right?
Speak French if you want. Don't worry about that.
And so, but like we've had this beautiful feminist movement. We've had this women's lib movement, and women can work and they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But yet we're still the ones who are the primary people dealing with the house stuff and the kids and the school and the food and the right. And so, and it's hard, I think, especially for our generation, because we're in that sort of in between, right?
That mix.
And trying to figure out those roles a little bit differently. And so figuring out how to blend that, how to make things easier, no matter who's doing it, right? Like, how do you get meals on your table and have healthy food on time every day?
Exactly. It's got to be a shared. It's got to be a shared responsibility. Right. You know, most certain, and obviously, if
absolutely,
you've got someone to share it with. Well, I think one of the things which may well help that is set your boundaries off from the start. So, you know, I'm not saying it would work for everyone, but if you are a single person and you have your way of living, and someone chooses to come into your life, well, the first thing you say, right, I cook on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. What day are you going to cook?
Right.
At that point, if they say,
absolutely,
then it's like, well, you know, something. Maybe we won't proceed any further.
Well, and here's no, absolutely, you know, and there may be people who are like, okay, so I cook Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you cook Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. What the hell does that have to do with my business, right? But it has everything to do with your business. Yes. I mean, if you are feeling the weight of the decision making every single day for when am I going to cook? When am I going to cook? I have to figure out how to time this right, and then when am I going to do it? And I have to do this doctor's appointment and that.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, you're running a business, right? Your mind is never going to be present, and you're not going to show up well for yourself. You're not going to show up well for your people.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like you're having sandwiches every night, right?
So
right? I mean, something's going to give. And so sometimes it's the dinner and sometimes it's your client work. And a lot of times it's ourselves.
I suppose it's about that shared responsibility if you are within a partnership.
For sure.
And, you know, making sure that both of you are on the same journey and understand and realize why you're on that journey. And you know, us men, we can be a little bit ugh. How do I boil an egg? What do you mean I've got to clean their bottom? You gave birth to them. But you know, keep educating us, keep pushing your clients to push us to become the responsible side of the relationship that we should be. Not all of us. Honest, you know, not all of us, but most certainly, you know, that's what needs to happen. For sure.
Well, and here's the thing is, you know, in excuse me, in different families, like in your family, you may be the one who does the primary cooking, right? Wouldn't you, as a business owner, want to know how to figure out your meal planning and your grocery shopping and your meal prep and all of that and make that easier? Of course you would.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's not truly about those gender roles.
Yeah.
I just, especially for like that Gen X and whatever that next one's called, Gen Y and the millennial, right? Like they're figuring it out.
I just call them kids.
Right.
They're younger than me, they're kids.
Something like that, right? And so, but, you know, I mean, if, you know, figuring out how to do things better and more efficiently and having more downtime, because I think we just go all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's not healthy for anyone.
No, it isn't. It's ironic you're actually talking about this, because this is something that I've been looking at earlier. I have a secret product I'm about to launch, and it's all around what you're talking about. Time and saving time. Fantastic. Hey, we had some more people join us. Hey, Natasha Gordon, how you doing, honey? Hey, there's a fair few watching now, Jennifer. Do you think it's time for us to sing that song?
What song are we singing?
I'm playing, girl. So,
I don't know about a song.
Tell us about some of the challenges that you've had to overcome with your business.
Ooh. Sorry, I'm not sure we got time for that.
What? Say what?
Excuse me. So, I mean, most recently the pandemic, right? I mean, a lot of my business before was in person, and I already had the goals for doing more virtual. I already had the goals for going more global, but was going to build that slowly.
Yeah.
And then come April, it was, no, how about you only build, right?
Yeah.
But there have been different things, you know. 3.5 years ago, there was Hurricane Harvey, which came through Houston, and I was out of my home for 3 months or 3 weeks, excuse me. And, you know, and my family were all in different places, and,
oh my God.
And, you know, and half of my clients homes flooded. I mean, like, and we're talking about like 4 feet of water kind of flooded.
Oh my gosh. That is
right.
terrible.
And, you know, and so months and months and months of recovery and that kind of thing. And so, okay, well, so how can I shift my work? Right. Like, so it's about really riding that boat and knowing that your purpose and what you're serving is still the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that, you know, how that shifts is going to look a little bit different. And so a lot of the people I work with now are people who have been through transition and trauma, right? I mean, I've been through divorce. I've, you know, had chronic health issues before. I'm a mom of 2, you know, I mean, so like I've had a lot of that kind of stuff. Right. And frankly, here's the thing, is it still happens, right? Like, it's not like, it's like, oh, I made it on the other side and it's all lovely and W now. Right. It's like,
the journey's not like that, girl.
No, I'm tripping on rocks every day. Right.
Oh, I'm bunny popping.
Yeah. I mean, that's every freaking day.
But isn't that,
you know,
isn't that part of what makes life a little bit fun in a strange,
absolutely
sadistic kind of way? I was speaking to somebody yesterday about this,
absolutely.
And I was saying that, you know, even the bad news or the bad things that happen, if you can always find a way to spin them. You know, you lose that client, maybe they were going to be a pain in the bum.
Absolutely.
Before you've got them, you lose that client that you had, they were a pain in the bum. you know what I mean? So, yes, every negative can be turned into positive. But so, I mean, but you're still here. So every challenge that you have faced, you've overcome and dealt with easily.
Oh, for sure. Well, and it makes me more relatable to the clients that I serve who have, you know, walk in saying, you know, I'm going through a divorce. I don't know how to manage my time now? How do I manage my space now that it's just mine? And how do I set that space up for my kids to feel comfortable and to feel grounded and at home when they're with me, and knowing that when they're not with me, what does that look like now? Because now it feels like this empty, vacuous space on my calendar, and that's uncomfortable too. And, you know, how do you work and, you know, plan good meals for yourself and that kind of thing when you've got chronic pain, right? Like, so it's all helped to inform a lot of the systems that are created so that it's easy to put it into place no matter where you are.
Yeah. I suppose you become almost like a rock then to some of your clients, especially if they go through trauma, and obviously because they're unleashing on you, you're listening, which probably not used to people listening to them, which is like a bit of a bonus. And I suppose that you then become a port of call. Do you ever have to kind of push back and say, oh, hold on a minute, I got my own life, you know, phone me after 5 or phone me before 5, or do people generally know the boundaries? And or do you just say, come man, I'm going to help you, girl, come on?
Well, you know, I mean, it's funny because there certainly have been clients that have struggled with monitoring their own boundaries with me. Right. The ones who really need me, I'm here for it, right? Yeah. And they naturally monitor those boundaries, and I know that when they step over that, it's because they truly need me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm here for it all day long. But you know, the ones who are really needy, and the ones who are like, hey, so how about 11 p.m. on a Saturday? No.
What?
No. Just no. Right. I don't work weekends, right? Yeah. I can say I don't work weekends. Do I occasionally do client work on weekends? Absolutely, I do.
Yeah.
But it's when I choose to for specific clients.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm happy to do that for them. But as a standard rule, I don't work on weekends. I don't work evenings. Yeah. Right. And so
boundaries
are super important.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. And I mean, and I guard myself, right? Like I know I've got all sorts of, you know, all sorts of woo-woo tricks that I use to sort of, you know, kind of guard myself to make sure that I'm not pulling other people's energy, right?
I heard about one of your voodoo tricks.
Oh no!
Apparently, you have 3 separate links, and that's as far as it's going to go. Right? Oh, Natasha Gordon says the bad things are usually the catalyst to get us to where we need to be. Boom, shakalaka laka loo. Natasha Gordon, I agree with you there. Simone says, oh, we're gonna have to go backwards. She says, not working with me every day. Ooh.
I know. What were we talking about? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Was it the voodoo? Was it the person who won't leave us alone?
That may have been like, like the,
Hey, so it's all right. You can bother as much as you like.
Mark, and Mark has talked about, not working evenings, being a bit of a challenge.
For evenings, yeah.
But here's the thing that I would challenge you on, Mark, is that if you were doing work for your business and you choose to in the evenings on a weekend, that's fine, right?
Yeah.
But I don't work for clients.
Yeah.
On an evening or weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest. We've got pandemic.
I work for me on an.
We've all watched Netflix. I mean, I'm now on South Korean movies with subtitles because I've watched everything I can watch. So I'm now trying to I'll turn off the subtitles sometimes just to see if I can kind of work out what they're saying. But I do understand what and what.
You've seen Schitt's Creek, just to go on a complete tangent. Have you watched Schitt's Creek yet?
No.
See, you haven't watched all of Netflix. You need to come and VPN into the US on your Netflix so that you can watch the rest of Netflix.
Did you say
SCHITT' Creek.
I can't say that on my show. My mum watches this show, She'll put a hand down the screen and round the back of the head.
I don't think she will. I'm pretty sure she won't.
So it's called Sugar Creek. Well, obviously we know what sugar means.
Yes. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Oh, all right. Simone was saying it was in regards to the business struggles.
Oh, yes. My business struggles were much greater before I had Simone in my life. For sure.
She's
my personal struggles were less before I had Natalie in my life. Now I just hurt everywhere.
Yeah, she just makes you do exercise all the time.
She really does, but I love it.
Mark says if the US would just move to a different time zone, it would all be fine.
Well, I would say the same for the UK, Mark.
And I've just found out that you guys have international movie nights, and I've not been invited. So you know something, we've all fell out at this very moment in time.
We'll figure it out.
I just right. Bum, 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 bum. Always start like that. It's like a work up for the next question. Tell us one thing about you that not many people know about. Secret. Oh, if your husband's watching, I'm sorry. He hasn't told you this before. I have a way of asking questions which other people don't. So
no, it's just trying to decide which, because I don't share a whole lot of personal. Oh, I know that Cameroon is one of my favorite places. My girls know this because we did a 2 truths and a lie thing, but Cameroon, Africa is one of my favorite places on earth.
Wow, when did you go? Tell me more.
I went in the 90s. I was working for an engineering company on an ExxonMobil project, and I was doing the HR. I was doing international HR. And so I had to go over and you'll appreciate this. I had to go over and make sure that the old white men were actually like paying attention to like things that like families needed.
Yeah.
Because like, come on, like a 60-year-old man.
He's
not gonna go looking for like.
Yeah, they're probably on in tune with the locals.
No, they didn't even make sure that there was deodorant, much less feminine products and baby products, and where could the kids go to school and that kind of thing. And just one of the most beautiful, lovely places on earth, and some of the best dang Chinese food I've ever had in my life. They used to be a French colony, right? Anything that the French touch food-wise is amazing. So did you see, like, whenever anyone talks about Africa, the first thing they think of is lions, tigers, zebras. I mean, did you see safari? Did you see like wildlife? There's I didn't get to see, well, I mean, there were monkeys at the pool, and they would steal your towels at the hotel funny. when I was at the hotel before I moved to the apartment. Yeah, and they were rude. They were super rude.
A rude monkey. I mean, come on.
They were super rude. Well, and I mean, you could consider wildlife being some of like the like what I would say, well, like one of the most. We didn't go safari and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because that's quite a ways out from Cameroon, because they're close to the coast. But one of the like strangest experiences, because I was in the capital city, and we were sitting having lunch at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Right on the kind of the circle. There's the circle, and then there's the big like government buildings and all that right around, and that kind of thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And so there's all these work people, and then there's the men who were in government who were still wearing the white wigs.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Which, like, we haven't done that in like hundreds of years, right?
Oh,
in the
it
US.
looks
I know that
daft,
y'all
but-
still play with that sometimes,
Yeah.
right? And then out of this crowd of these men with the white wigs and all this comes this Aboriginal man, literally loincloth and this long spear, just like walking through town. Because like that's just what you do. And I was like, my brain hurts to understand
that
this.
would have been so surreal. That would have been so surreal to see.
It was bizarre. It was absolutely bizarre.
It kind of shows that we, you know, there's so much of the world that we just haven't seen and probably will never get to see. But that's amazing. What an amazing story. I mean, most people's view of Cameroon is that they got to the World Cup twice and they were pretty good. Roger Miller. But that's amazing. So here, guys, we've just had a secret about Jennifer Mangus, which not many people know about. She's going to get off the mission now, of the video now. People are like, Jennifer, you never told me we went to Cameroon. What's going on there? Then tell us more. Tell us more. So excellent. You heard it here first. Jennifer.
oh, Natalie, I'm not being mean.
Jennifer has.
I love the exercise and the hurting.
Oh my God, Simone has just dropped another zinger. What's this chicken tattoo she's talking about?
Oh no, Natalie started that. So I had a pretend chicken tattoo, like not even on purpose. It was like a Where's Waldo kind of thing that I did a long time ago in a graphic. And it's something that I post like at least once or twice a month, right? It's one of those pictures like I use over and over. Never have noticed that I hadn't removed this little Where's Waldo chicken. And it looked like there was a chicken tattoo like right here on my wrist. So Natalie asked me the other day, she's like, what's up with the chicken tattoo? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah.
Are you a friend of the Colonel? KFC.
No. Yeah. So yeah, so I don't actually have any ink.
You ladies are stirring. Stop it. Natalie says, working with Jennifer has been a game changer for me. Transformed the way I organize my week and prioritize my work. I am much more productive now. Boom. Boom. Natalie, that's a fantastic testimonial. Guys, if you're watching now, you know, Jennifer is going to put all of her links on as to how you can connect with her. But get in touch if you're feeling like, you know, you're not in control of your day, your week, your month, your life. Obviously, she only has a capacity. So get in touch with her quick because it will fill up. Okay, Mrs. Major, force of nature. What advice would you give somebody who wanted to start, if they were crazy enough to want to start a business right now? What advice would you give them?
Well, I would say make sure to put time in your diary for you first, because there is nothing harder than starting a business. It is totally worth it, but there's nothing harder. So put time in your calendar just for you. Get some amazing business friends that are not necessarily in the same place in the journey with you and not necessarily in the same space, but that are entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs that are also friends will understand even the life crap that's happening and how they're intermingled differently. And then I'm a big believer in having a coach. I think especially in that, you know, it feels really hard. And I know that there's a lot of different resources out there for different levels of coaching, but you will get there faster and have less of those dips. When you've got a coach. You're going to have dips, right? Like you're going to have the highs and lows for sure, but you're going to have less of them and they're not going to be as deep if you've got somebody that's there right alongside you to celebrate you, to cheer you on, to bounce ideas off of, and that kind of thing.
Does your coach kind of like have to put on the hobnail boots every now and again and give you a little tap?
Always, right? If your coach doesn't do that,
you're organized. I thought you'd be the perfect student.
Oh no. Simone better not. Well, Simone and Natalie both could tell on me. I'm not always the perfect student. In fact, I'm behind in both of their courses right now.
Oh, fantastic.
Because I mean, like, here's the thing, right? There's only so many hours in the day that you can juggle the things. And I have chosen to make different things priorities.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right? I'll just send that.
And you know something, you do the journey the way that you want to do the journey, and having the help for your journey, not for their journey or somebody else's. That's the way, isn't it? You know, and,
absolutely.
You know, do what you want, girl. Do what you want. Simone wants to get some popcorn out.
Oh, okay. I think that's when we were talking about Cameroon, and you were picking about the tattoo.
Oh, bless. Oh, thank you. Working with Jennifer is why I have a business today and don't drown in projects.
It's true.
And Mark says, yay, business friends. I like Mark Bowden. Is he one of your connections? Is he one of your network? Hi, Mark. Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us.
He's part of my paid hype squad. I just, I just bring them everywhere with me.
I need to find myself one of those. I've been told you can get them off Fiverr. Is there anything that the people watching, the followers, the group, this gets shared all over the place, YouTube, is there anything that we can do to help you, Jennifer?
I think the biggest thing right now is that I'm looking for speaking opportunities, other places where I can come in and share with people to support your students, to support your community, and just really to get the message out that you don't have to do it by yourself, and that there are little tips and tricks to be able to just make your life easier.
Interesting. I might be able to help you with that one, as one of my network is actually doing a business doing that very thing, finding speaking opportunities. So let me write it here on my little notepad. Speaking
Hook a sister out. Come on.
For Jennifer. Okay, that's fine. Well, that wraps up our interview. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. You've been brilliant. To the people watching, thank you so much for getting involved. If you want to also be my fan club, I will send me your bank details and I will make sure the payment gets to you. But the cheerleader crew, I'll have some of that. Thank you. Brilliant. Anyone who's watched, yes, I know I keep saying this, but if you do watch it on replay, put #replay, you're going to get a prize. Sometime in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to go through all the videos and I'm going to look who's put #replay, and I'm going to send you a message individually and you're going to go, thank you. So #replay if you've watched it. If you want to get in touch with Jennifer, she's going to put all of her links in the comments in the on the bottom of the video to everything she does. And the one thing I will say, I have done one of Jennifer's courses, which was organize your social media, sort your social media out. And I tell you what, after the third video, and I started to implement what she showed me, and it was a time saver to the point where it's like, why on earth didn't I think of that before? So simple, so simple, but you know what it's like, guys. You hear things 1,000 times, but sometimes it takes the right teacher to talk your language for you to actually follow the instructions. And Jennifer is the right teacher. So that's me. That's me being your cheerleader girlfriend. So anybody who wants to connect with her, all of the links will be in there. Find her on Facebook, find her on LinkedIn. She's everywhere, guys. Everywhere. She's got a website. She's got courses. Go and support her. If you wanted to speak at any of your events, if you've got groups or if you've got network meetings, then she's available for that as well. Jennifer, thank you so much. People watching, thank you so much. And I shall see you all on Thursday, where I think, let me just check to see who I'm speaking to on Thursday. On Thursday, I am speaking to Yvonne Wright. She is a Mary Kay consultant. Something to do with beauty and hair. Hey, it suits me perfectly. Right, I'm out of here, guys. See you all later.
See you next week, Nigel.
One last thing before we go. Mark Bowden says, the best advice always seems simple when it's explained, but you never think of it yourself. Mark,
so true.
You're so right. Guys, take care. Jennifer, don't go anywhere. We're going to have a debrief. And I shall see you all on Thursday, guys. Take care. See you soon.
Ta-ta.